저는 800여 개 과학기술단체와 500만 과학기술인을 대표하는 이제 말씀 들으신 과총을 이끌고 있습니다. 여기에 소개된 것은 특허청이 주도하는 그 지식재산 관계 법령을 통과시키기 위해서 과총이 앞장서서 일을 하고 있기 때문에 이 자리에 소개됐습니다. 국제 심포지엄이라고 그래서 제가 따로 잘 모르는 못하는 영어로 준비한 것을 양해해 주시기 바랍니다. Commissioner 이수원, distinguished guest, science and technology expert, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege to address you today. On behalf of the Korean Federation of Science and Technology Societies, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations on the opening of the international seminar hosted by the Korean Intellectual Property Office. Notably, maybe he just left, I'd like to thank Prime Minister Kim Hwang-sik and National Assembly's Knowledge and Economic Committee Chairman Kim Young-hwan for leading the registration for policy development and enactment of the Framework Act on Intellectual Property. Furthermore, please allow me to thank the distinguished participant, along with Director General of World Intellectual Property Organization, Francis Curry, and the Commissioner of the Japan Patent Office, Yoshiyuki Iwai. Dear intellectual property professionals, in this age, many advanced nations are recreating themselves as world powers by basing their strengths and core values based on knowledge and intellectual property. As all of you may well be aware, Japan, under the leadership of Prime Minister, has established its intellectual property strategy headquarters in 2003. Since then, the country has been working on the elaboration and systemization of its IP strategy. In 2008, the United Nations government strengthened the IP policy coordination by establishing the position of IP enforcement coordinator in the executive office of the president. China has proclaimed its intellectual property strategy as one of its top 3 national priorities, together with the science and technology strategies and human resources. I believe a common reason for these nations' effort to strengthen intellectual property strategy lies in the acknowledgement that intellectual property is a key factor for the wealth of nation and a source of corporate competitiveness in a knowledge-based society. Although a bit behind in time, Korea, since June 1st, 2011, has also put into effect the Framework Act of International Property. This will provide a legal ground for coherent establishment and enforcement of intellectual property. Amid fierce competition among nations and corporations to better utilize intellectual property, Korea now possesses the international framework within which the government can make strong measures on matters such as maintaining joint research project ownership, improving R&D performance, and stimulating intellectual property utilization. I'm excited that through today's seminar, we may be able to demonstrate economic contributions that can be made by creation, utilization, and protection of intellectual property and effective IP strategy. Also, I believe this can be a valuable moment to expand the IP agenda at home and abroad by sharing concrete experience with advancing and implementing IP strategies in different countries. Honorable participants, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you a continuous support and assistance in the systematic establishment and effective implementation of Korea's IP strategy based on your experience and academic insight. Your wisdom and advice will greatly help the development and promotion of effective IP strategies in Korea. In closing, I would like to acknowledge with profound appreciation the earnest effort of Commissioner Lee Soo-won of the Korean Intellectual Property Office, whose work made today's event possible. Thank you very much.